Hey everybody, welcome to Hilltop Machine Works. Well, hey everybody, it's Tom here. We are back in the shop for another project, and that means another video for you guys. I'm kind of excited because we are going to get on the welding rotary table. Been collecting parts and pieces for the build, and it's been piled up sitting there on the workbench, and finally got a little bit of a window here in between jobs, so waiting for the C-clamps to come back from the welder, and I got another pay job coming in a couple weeks, and so I figured, hey, let's get on this thing. I can't wait. So let me turn the camera around and show you our plan of attack. Okay, so we got a lot going on. It's probably going to be at least a 3 or 4 part video series, so this is going to be exciting. So my parts and pieces, picked up this faceplate. This will be basically our rotating table. This is a wood faceplate, but I couldn't find a cheap one for a metal lathe, so it goes on a wood lathe. The threads are 7, 8, 9, so that'll be our base. And here's a 6-inch 3-jaw that was on my Inco lathe, which I took off and you know, put a nice 8-inch 3-jaw, so didn't have to buy one. So that will go on to that. We'll have to make a plate to go from here to here to bolt on, or I may be able to bolt on straight through. I'm not sure yet, hadn't decided on the plan of attack for that. And let's see, we got some bearings. So a rod, or should we say shaft, that we make, that will be bolted to the bottom of the faceplate. Then we'll have to have the bearings, and we'll have to basically have shoulders on it, so the weight of the bearings will ride on the bearings, not on the actual motor. And I've got a piece of stress-proof 1144, just a tad bit over an inch. So we'll turn that. That'll be the lathe work for the rod. And let me show you, I kind of got it laid out. We're going to build this shaft last, because I think some of these measurements may change as in the overall length and the space of it, but this will kind of give you an idea. You know, cut a thread for the faceplate. This will be like the shoulder sitting on the bearing. Here is the piece of plate, which is going to be basically the shell for the actual rotary table that would go to the frame of it. Another bearing, some sort of lock collar, or I may actually make bearing housings for these two and then bolt them together, which is what I'm kind of leaning towards. And then this comes down the end of the shaft, and this is what the part is going to go onto the motor. I'll show you all the stuff over there. So there's the big motor that I picked up. So that'll be the shaft right there. Speed controller, and I got AC to DC converter. And then in here I've got the foot pedal. So and then that's that piece of plate, and I've got 1x1 by 1/8 bar there to make a frame out of. And then we'll also need to make a panel, and this is kind of what I'm thinking. A power light. This will be the power switch. It's this is what this one is here. It's a double pole, double throw. So you click it on, and then the motor will rotate clockwise, which makes the rotary table and the 3-jaw rotate clockwise, or we can flip it down and it'll rotate counterclockwise. Thinking about putting another switch in here, which would be probably maybe a single pole double throw, so I can flip it up if I just don't want to use the foot pedal and have you know, power going directly to it. And let's see here, slide everything over. You can see that is the potentiometer there, and that would be that. So increase it, speed control, and some sort of outlet so I can plug in the foot pedal, and then I can unplug it for storage. And I got a question mark of whether I want to put some sort of fuse in there. So well, that'll take an episode building all that. So let me get this stuff kind of straightened up here, and we'll get a plan of attack. But I think probably what we'll do is we'll build us some housings for these bearings. What do you say? So I've been trying to think of every possible scenario so we don't bozo this thing, and ran into a slight problem. We're just going to have to come up with another plan of attack. So what you're looking at, so if this is basically the shaft that we're going to build, the problem to run into is this small diameter here in between two large diameters. So what I'm trying to do is use the bearings that I got, and also I want this rotary table to be able to obviously sit flat or horizontal, and then I want to be able to turn it up to a vertical position. So if I got this piece chucked up and we want to weld on the end of this, then we could do it that way, and it would work fine. Now the only problem is now we've got two different sets of forces we got to deal with. If let's say this was the shaft that is inside the rotary table, so if it's like this way, and for visual effects, let's say the face plate is sitting like this, so all the weight's pushing down. So this is the bearing that I want to use, so that's sitting down, and obviously this shaft would have basically a shoulder on it, and it'd be sitting on this bearing face, and so all the weight would rotate on this bearing, so that's fine. Now the problem arises now when we rotate it to a vertical position, into a horizontal position. Obviously this is vertical, but I'm saying that the table is flat. Now the table is vertical, and this is horizontal, so now obviously this bearing isn't designed for this side load, it's designed to be on the face. So I want to use this bearing in here, and this would rotate this way on in the shaft, so it'd be fine. It would handle the weight, and life is good. But the problem is this ID is smaller than this ID, so you know you can't press this bearing on this way or this way because of the two larger diameters. So we may have to make this a two-piece shaft, either here or here, so we can get this bearing on. So let's make the housings, because these bearings need to be supported so they won't go anywhere and hold that load. So I dug in my bin, and I found a piece of 8101 and some mystery steel. Actually, just kidding, that's 1018 for you guys that don't get it. And there's the phone, of course. Hang on. Alright, I got my piece of 1018 chunked up in here. And we're going to go ahead and make a bearing housing for this one. So this is what we got to do. So let's get to it. Pretty simple. Clean the face up, drill a hole, and then we got to basically bore out a section for this bearing to slide into. So, easy breezy, lemon squeezy. I won't bore you with a lot of it. I'll just do a few things here and there. You've seen all this before. Using my opposite corners on the CNMG here. bore most of it out anyway, so. We ain't got to worry about a pretty finish right now. Just cleaning it up. See, we might have a small spot. Yeah, we're good. We'll go with that. Let me get the drill bit in. Little center drill action. Use my new drill. New bit also. Let's see how she likes it. Slow it down or not. Yeah. Figured so. Figured so. Let's see this a little better. See that. Better. Let's do a little boring. Clean the hole up and get a measurement here, but we got a ways to go since we got about a little over 1 inch and 3/4. Having to use a 1/2 inch boring bar to be able to get in the hole, and maybe jump up bigger once I get the hole bigger. At this stage of the game, we can use the guessometers. $8.30. All right. So we got a ways to go. Well, I've been chewing away at it, as you can see, and we are like almost there. I need about 1.5 thou. So that's going to be tough. I'm just actually going to try to do a spring pass just to clean it up. We'll see if that'll be what we hit. Back to where I was originally. That number there. Alrighty. I hate taking such little cuts for carbide. The bearing doesn't have to be a press fit, and a slide fit would be okay, but I just don't want a sloppy fit. Because it needs to be supported. Alrighty. Let's see how we did. Oh boy, almost there. Alright, let's see if we can give her just a kiss again. We'll just do another spring pass. Alright, after about 3 spring passes, I think we finally got her. And get her back out. But there you go, she's gonna go in. Kind of got a wiggle her in, so nice fit. Let's see if we can get her back out. So yay. We'll break this edge, flip around and cut some of that length down because we don't need that much. And this bearing support will be done. Got it flipped around, just cleaning up this face. Just taking some meat off of it because it doesn't need to be as thick. Reduce the weight. Well, I just finished facing off about 3/8 of an inch. So it looks like we have us one bearing retainer. Cool. Get it out. And obviously, you're not going to get a super good finish with 1018, but we're not needing a super duper finish for this. So here we go. Bearing's gonna fit in there, and I left it big because probably what's gonna happen is we're gonna drill a couple holes, and they're gonna have a couple screws go through there, and then that way it'll hold it on, and the bearing will be supported in this nice little housing. I'm gonna break this edge, and then I'm gonna make the other one for the other bearing. I'll do that off camera, and we are a couple steps closer. Well, I'm wrapping up the second one. I just thought I'd show you the nice fit that we got on this second one. Gotta love it when the measurements come out just the way you want them, even with 1018. But look at that fit. Perfect. That's gonna work out nice. Cool. Alrighty, rocking and rolling, guys. Well, there you go, guys. We've got 2 bearing housings. Knocked this one out off camera. So they look good. They should work perfect for us. So I guess this is a good time to end this one. This will be part 1, and we'll pick up part 2 tomorrow, where we'll go ahead and start planning out the shaft and trying to kind of figure out how everything's going to go, so we only have to make it once and we don't have any bozos. So hey guys, thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you on part 2.